Hey, welcome to another show of Voices in the Struggle. I'm your main man, Big Ant.
Brother Reggie.
And we got a special guest here with us today.
Special.
Who's going to talk about financial responsibility and how to be more financially responsible. Mr. Devyn Patterson.
Applause, man.
Yeah,
what's going on? Got the thing, man. Oh, bootleg today.
I ain't got the time for
we
it,
bootleg
man.
today. No, sir.
Look, we get a guest. I don't have it with you, right?
Now, we all family. It's all good.
So, hey, for those that don't know you, I'm sure it's a small few, Mr. Patterson. Tell them a little about yourself, brother.
Devyn Patterson, born and raised right here in Savannah, Georgia.
What high school you go to?
I went to Beach.
You're a Bulldog, huh?
Yeah,
y'all got a strong following, boy.
Yeah, we got a big following. Like, we one of the older schools here in the city.
Yeah.
We went to high school there. 7 brothers, 1 sister, big family.
Good Lord Almighty. Y'all was jumping a lot of folks back in the day.
Where you at? Know what I'm saying? I'm 7 or 8.
Oh,
all right. I got a little brother right after me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You spoiled.
So ain't nobody mess with you then, huh? You got 6 damn big brothers.
Nah, nobody. We had our issues, but we took care of them.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's up? I went out to FAMU.
There you go, fam. There we go.
HBCU, shout out to FAMU rappers.
Yeah.
Went out there, then joined the military shortly after, came back home. And, just in the Air Force Reserves, had a great time doing that. Majored in pharmaceutical studies and became a pharmacy tech and got a degree in healthcare science, stuff like that. But, it all results back to being a strong black family with my family, my father, mother, and father. We have very, very strong black family values. And, I believe in the strong black family values and how they help me grow. I have married with 1 child, 1 small child, Naziah and Victoria. And we just happy to be back home.
You got 7 more to go.
7 more what?
That's it, though. You gotta continue to have a big family,
yeah,
though.
You got 7 more to go.
Wooden nickels don't spin.
You true. You got work to do, player.
I drop them off to your house.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I got nothing. Gonna get mine next week. No, good.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we got Devyn up here. We can start asking a few questions of you, bro. Since this is a financial responsibility show, especially with black folks, what is being financially responsible in your opinion?
Being financially responsible, it starts at a very early age. Some things that your parents don't that tell you that doesn't really stick with you until you get older. But a very good definition is financial literacy or responsibility is the ability to understand how money works and how to make money grow.
What you mean how money works?
Far as
I got $20, dog. I'm gonna go get me a meal.
Well, yeah, you got $20. Is it really? If you got food at home, is it really necessary to go spend all $20 on a meal?
Right.
Just saying.
$20 invested in something to make it build and use it back in the community. That's very important. How to be financially literate, and it goes deeper than that. That's just a very broad definition. It goes as deep as bringing it into the credit sense and how to resort back to different rules and regulations and how to look at money in a quick way so you understand what to do in a situation. I've ran into situations where people don't even know how to count money back. You give them $1 and they don't have change back.
Yo, I hate that, man. If their register go down, they damn done.
They got like calculators.
Right. I hate that.
It's a lost art,
Yeah,
that's just like writing in cursive.
Yeah.
In 5 years, 3 years, they're gonna ask what's that.
What are they what are they teaching in school? If you can't count money back.
Right.
Well, you're supposed to teach that in the house, but all these debit cards and credit cards, everybody's swiping now.
Yeah.
You ain't got, because you remember back in the days, we used to get, this gives $5 or $1, go to the store, get something. We got to be accounting that change.
You better have it right.
Yeah, get my change right, So you come back with less than what you're supposed to have. Hold on, you stole my money.
Oh, you going back?
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead and get my money.
Right.
That's it, but they don't have that anymore. Send them to the store with your debit card. Hey, here go my PIN number, which I would never do. But,
then
they come back.
Take it out your wallet.
Exactly. Not get my PIN number. Hey, not at all.
Charlton said they can't write in cursive now.
It's not at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No one writes period now. Think about it. You type everything.
Text. They don't even text.
When last time you wrote a letter and mailed it? a handwritten letter.
See, but this is see, but when you filling out something that's not computerized or you can't turn it in with a computer, then your penmanship goes a long way. But they're getting away from that now.
Yeah, it's gone.
But you know, I'm a testament to that. I've been writing, and my handwriting is not legible. So
yeah, you write stuff that you can't even read. Like,
I'm trying not to write too much at all. Shit.
What I just said, what I just wrote down here. Hey,
Right.
Yeah.
Retract that.
I ain't got to that point yet. Everything I write, I can go back later and read.
You sure?
But you might not be able to read.
Right.
It'd be an unofficial shorthand and shit. You know what I mean?
You know what the first and the last letter
Yeah,
is,
he's
so
like,
I know what the word is.
Right.
I know what I was trying to say.
So check it out. Yeah, cursive writing was removed from the curriculum. So sad. That's what Keisha Wilson said. So I'm trying to keep up. I'm gonna try to read y'all comments tonight. Comment on y'all comments, and you know, keep you proactive in the conversation. Okay. So thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Craig Young. Thank you, Charlton Bradford Jefferson.
So Valerie.
Valerie Black, Ursula Lewis, everybody. We appreciate y'all watching. So, if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I'm stretched out. I'm strong on the 15th to the 18th and the 1st through the 4th. How would I start being financially responsible?
Well, of course, you know, we all have been there, no matter who you are. You know, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you are not living paycheck to paycheck. If you have too much money at the end of your money, then you live paycheck to paycheck. You try to stretch it out. You know, first thing I would do that I did personally for myself, and by far, I'm no finance guru or anything. Everything I did was for my family first. First thing you do, you want to start off with a simple financial budget where you write down all your bills. And you write down all your income, all your bills.
Capital letters.
Yeah, because some people think that $10 bill or that haircut bill, you write down everything that comes in and everything that goes out. And by doing that, you have a visual of what's going on. And I actually went to the next step and put them on a calendar on my phone. So and shared it with people I shared that bill with, like my wife. So when it's due, it dings on everybody's phone in the house.
Everyone said they ain't know.
Right, exactly. That's very important to be on the same page at all times and know exactly what's due on what days they do, and you want to pay everything on time. By doing that, you are actually developing a positive payment history, which goes a long way into your financial literacy and your financial freedom. Because you can't not have financial freedom unless you be financial literate. So if you don't understand how money works and your bills are being paid, you're never going to be financial free.
Yeah, financial free is very important. It relieves a lot of stress too. When you're financially free, when you got all them bills in your way besides the regular utility bills, maybe the mortgage or rent, all that extra stuff, that'll kill you because you wake up thinking about you go to sleep thinking.
Right.
You ain't got that on your plate. You can function better. Life is a little bit easier. You know, you can navigate through life where you can see.
You know, and financial problems are one of the main reasons that people are cause people to break up. Financial problem.
That's a big problem. Yeah.
You're bad with your damn money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
You got 300 credit score trying to buy a Lamborghini or something. You know what I mean?
Or you spend too much, or you don't spend enough. You know, you got vice versa. Some people be like, "Now we can afford a little bit more.
Right.
Come on now." You know what I'm saying?
That's why you say that budget is very important.
Right.
Especially if it's one person and with two people, it's definitely important. You know, because it's, sometimes you're going to have one person want to spend more than the other person. But if you're on that budget, you got X amount of dollars for the month. That's all you can spend. You know, I don't care what it is. If it's outside that budget, the rest of it is wherever, savings or whatever.
Right.
If you spend your budget money, you through for the month. You got to wait till the first or whenever your payday is to get your, get some more money. But it has to be, a budget is very key.
But if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, how do I get that initial savings started? You know what I mean?
You're going to have to, my personal opinion, because a lot of folks in this country is underpaid. Right. You know, they're doing 40 hours worth of work, but they're not getting the pay. You're going to have to either get you a side hustle or a side business.
I can't, I got kids at home.
You're going to have to do something. There's plenty of stuff you can do at home. You got the internet. You know, you can do something at home. You're gonna have to get a side business or a second job.
Mhm.
You know, or there's other ways too, but those are some things you're gonna have to do to get your money up, so you can be above water. Because if you sinking, you below the poverty line. I don't think it's too much you can do because you're gonna steady keep sinking because you don't have enough to make it to the end of the month anyway.
It all goes back really to kind of like sacrifice. Is what you want. Those people, and not to talk down on them, but some of those people have not been had not experienced nice things. So you take some people out of town and they brought in their minds outside the Savannah walls.
You want to do better.
Do better for themselves, and you take them different places. By doing that, you uplift them and give them a chance to see that there's something better out there that's besides going to work every day. So a lot of those people, especially single females, they got 2-3 kids. They get an income tax check back. They could use that as a way to pay their rent off and to invest that money. You can invest that helps build, for the future. And on a person who's day-to-day paycheck, they have to find a way. The first thing I would actually do is, try to be legit. A lot of people don't want to be legit. Like get a taxable paying income. Whether you could create the job, which is the route that a lot of people are doing now, is creating the job, creating their own profession and working for themselves or working for someone, but make sure it's a taxable income. By doing that, you have a better chance of getting bank accounts. Because you can't, you go to the bank with $50,000 cash, they're gonna ask you some questions.
The Fed's coming to get you.
anything over 10,000, you got to report it to the FDIC.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in the mindset too. It's easier said than done, but it starts at an early age of the importance of being financial literate with kids. It should be taught in school how to balance checkbooks and how to.
It should be.
So Craig Young said it's not about how much money you make, but about how much you save. Charlton said, or how you spend. And he said his daughter called him. What is that? Sent him a credit card bill. My daughter just texted me asking a question about a credit card bill. So the first thing he had to tell her was calm down and send me a pic of the bill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I tell you what, that credit card trap is something else, man. It's just too easy.
It's easy because it's not your money coming out your pocket.
Right.
So it's easy just to swipe that card. Right. I can pay the minimum balance.
I can have $200 in the bank.
Yeah.
Go out there and ball out on the credit card.
That's it.
I still got my $200 in the bank.
Well, it's all what you're trying to do because a credit card is a tool that's used to build. It's a tool that can be used to build financial freedom and financial wealth. For instance, I started off with a $300 secure credit card, my own money, and for the people I followed, they say only use whatever your credit card is
30%.
30%. Right. So I used $100 in my credit score and pay that off, and it goes up. You can use 30% and still pay the minimum balance and still benefit from it.
That actually look good on your report. What I found out is to have a credit card with low balance that shows discipline. Opposed to once you finish paying and closing it off, leave it on your credit report. Let it run.
Never close the credit card. Always keep it open for the simple fact it extends your credit history. So if you got a credit card that's over 15 years or 20 years, and every 6 months you're asking for a line of credit increase, so they might increase you $2,000, $3,000 in 15 years. You might have a $20,000, $30,000 credit card.
Yeah, only I say it like this. Only if you're responsible, because you don't need that much money if you're responsible.
Yeah, you gotta be responsible.
You gotta be responsible.
Yeah, because like you said, that's for if you want your credit score to go up. You financing everything. Yeah, that's good stuff. You need that. But if you're irresponsible, don't even mess with no credit card until you get your mind right. When you go on to swipe that card, it's going to be for whatever you need it for. You're going to be able to pay it off.
Right.
In a timely manner. Not the minimum payment either. You're going to pay it before 5 years up.
That minimum payment only to get you to keep paying finance charges.
Right, finance charges. But there's ways around that type of stuff also. But that might be another show.
Yeah. There's different ways to skin a cat, like they say.
Yeah, different ways.
It's all about how you feel about yours and how responsible you are.
And what are you trying to do? Are you trying to have a credit card for protection? You have trying to have a credit card to establish credit to get a business account.
Right.
That's all what you trying to do for.
Exactly.
I mean, they make it so easy nowadays. You get a credit card, we'll give you 11 million damn Sky Miles or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And it's enticing.
And those are I think those are good to use for you get a Sky Miles card or something with I think American Express or whoever. those are good to use for flights. You know what I mean? Because I used to have a card for everything. You know, Lowe's credit card for when I booked something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those got out of control. So
it's easy.
it's easy.
So easy. Some days you're bored or something. You want to.
Some days you just get in the mood. You want to spend some money.
You want to splurge some money. Let me use Visa money right quick.
All right. So Keisha Wilson says. So what's the first step?
The first step in.
And Craig Young said, Devyn, talk about the credit party.
Craig Young is my oldest brother. That's why he keep calling me. He's the oldest of the 8.
Okay.
What's up, Craig?
So he has a big part of my. And we talk. We fight a lot, but we talk a lot. We love each other to death. First step number 1 for building financial freedom would be to annualcreditreport.com. Get your credit report. See what's on it.
And you get 1 free credit report each year, right? 1
free credit report each year from each bureau, which is TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. And there's actually 2 other bureaus that they don't talk about, but it's a factual bureau, and it's another one called Nvidia's. But make sure you get your free credit reports and have those, and just look over. That's the first step. And that's for anybody. That's for anybody from with an 850 credit score all the way down to somebody who has a 300 credit score. Because people with 850 credit score actually look at their credit more because they don't want nothing on it. See what I'm saying? So you need to look at those 2. And then the second step would be what I did was I made sure I had the right address. Because, being part of the military, you move around a lot. So you want to make it hard for people to verify your information. So eliminate all those addresses that you had in Texas and tech school or AIT. Eliminate all those. Take up.
Lord knows they out there.
Yeah, because you look at your credit report, you have addresses from 20 years ago, and that's how they verify you, because they can verify each move that you make. So you follow those 2 steps and make it hard for them to verify everything on your credit report. Those are your first 2 steps of trying to build being financially literate. Know what's on your credit, because a lot of stuff is falling off now, and if you have a 400 credit score, you probably have it because you haven't looked at your credit score and actually investigated what's going on. Because most likely is some incorrect information on it.
So that's annualcreditreport.com.
That's correct.
You can go up there and get a free account and check, get 1 free credit report every year.
Or you can print it off. What I did, I printed it off and I mailed it in with my copy of my ID, and they mailed it back to me in 15 days, all 3 of them.
So remember that's annualcreditreport.com. If you haven't looked at your credit report in a while, probably good to do so. Yep. So what are some of the things to look out for, man, that may seem pleasing to the eye? You know what I mean? Because, when you start getting your credit right, everybody want to send you an offer for a credit card and everything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are some indicators and some things to stay away from?
Well, first thing you want to do is avoid unnecessary purchases, especially those that increase debt. So, like, you go in the mall to buy a pair of shoes or whatever, that don't really increase debt if you pay cash for it. But anything that increases debt, as far as buying a car, people like, well, my credit went up 60 points. I got a car that's decent, it's older, but I'm going to buy a new car just because I can. That's the first thing. But if you do have to get a car, don't stay away from the high interest rates as possible. Anything over really about 3%, you kind of cheat yourself, and that's the truth. And those hidden finance charges they have, you might have something like that extends your credit over the course of 24 months, but you don't realize a lot of time over that 12 months they had another finance charge in it of another $200-300, and now your payment has ballooned for no reason. Payday loans, I strongly disagree with those.
Predatory lending.
Yeah, exactly. They look at you and they attack on you. They attack on the weak.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people who own payday loan companies. They got like planes, and they got they do whatever they want to do in life.
Yeah. Taxing folks.
So, Keisha said identity theft is real. I added the feature to my report. It's no joke. Yeah. So
I use the privacy guard.
Yeah, identity theft is real, man. That's a bad thing.
I notify every time I get dinged.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So you can afford it. Okay. your brother said, what about talk about the credit part? What's the credit part?
Credit part, basically, everybody get their credit report. All three, and we're going to have one in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of mandatory for my siblings to come who stay here in Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have everybody get their credit report. And basically, get together and we go through the process of how to remove things off your credit report that's derogatory that you want to remove and help build your credit for anybody. We don't look at your scores, we don't look at your information. But if you say that I need to remove inquiries, so if you need to remove an inquiry off your credit report, it's a process that you go through to do that.
Right.
So, if for those who don't understand what inquiries are, if you go to a bank or go to a car lot, they usually call this thing they call shotgun your credit. So they would run your credit report, they run your credit through 20 different people to try to get you approved.
See if they can finance it. Yeah.
So they approve you through one, but they run you through 20. So you have 19 inquiries on your report. By law, you can remove all 19 of those inquiries because you never accepted credit for those companies. So you could tell them to write a letter to them and say, well, I never accepted credit for those from your institution. Therefore, you have to remove these. If not, you can report them. So that's part of the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
And that's a big thing, man, because too many inquiries on your credit report is not favorable either, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a big.
See, but they don't tell you that.
But too many inquiries make it look like you're thirsty, like you're reaching, you're reaching for something.
And too much credit, yeah.
Right, you want too much credit. So
what's the step to get those taken off?
So basically, once again, you have to have your credit report, and then you
at annualcreditreport.com.
Right, yeah. And you look at the inquiries, and you look at the ones that you did not accept anything from them, and you call them, but we preferably like to write letters, usually certified, and say that we need to remove these inquiries because we never accepted your money.
And it worked.
And it works.
It worked.
How long does it take to come off?
I would say about 30 days.
Yeah.
Shit, that's a good time out.
So in the credit part, we're going to do that. We're also going to have different techniques of consolidating things and making sure everything's accurate. That's a lot of the situation. People don't have accurate information on their credit report, and that hurts them for no reason.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because you're saving money for one. Because you got folks who've done it, for themselves or heard about some things. So instead of paying somebody X amount of dollars a month to do nothing, for 5-6 months and try to get your credit straight, and they don't do nothing for you.
Right.
But I think that's a great idea. The credit party.
Credit part, that's something good, man.
Yeah, I never heard that. That's new on me.
Yeah, I suggest,
Yeah, I don't like credit myself, so I don't do one. I like cash.
Nah, you can see, but
Like
it
cash.
backfires on you when you pay too much cash.
No, not really, because that's where you say the budget come in. So if I'm paying something for cash, right, I know what I want.
I think it works for him because he's already established. But for a younger person, you keep paying, like, it's like a young person go to get that first car. What they tell him? You ain't got no credit.
No credit. But yeah, that's true, but think about it. Even when we first came in the military, we didn't get a lot of money, but we had 3 hots in the cot, so we had a lot of money. If we used it the right way, but we wouldn't have got that car. So if you get $1,200 a month, you got that car $300-400. That's most of your money. Then you got the credit cards. That's some more of your money. But if you go on that first little hoopty, or your first little house, you buy a little hoopty that you can get around A to B. You still keep stacking up. You go get your car cash after a while.
That's what
a decent car.
That's why I think we need to get at these younger folks better, because like we probably did. They went out and got a car. They probably could barely afford. Broke the neck to get some rims, just get some booming and everything.
Right.
When you can get just a modest, older, nice car, stack your chips and be living better than.
And think about if I could start over again, I would have bought that little hoopty. I'd have rode it till the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
And as I got more money, I start stacking up. I can go to a lot and get what I want because I think one car I bought was at the time probably about $10,000, which ain't a lot of money. It's a lot, but it ain't a lot of money. If you saving your money $10,000, here you go. I give you 8 right now, cash. Go to the dealership, they'll probably give it to you. But I think most cases, most folks, because these days cars are not cheap. I don't care if they old 10, 15 years old, they trying to get top dollar for their cars.
Oh, yeah.
So it's still, I think it goes back to if you got a job that's not making a lot of money, I think and Brandon got a good question, I think we should answer that too. But your kids want to jump out there and do their own thing. So if it's hard for them to stack if they got an apartment, even if they got roommates, if you stay home a little longer, you know, you can still pay a couple bills. You can stack some money quicker and get on your feet. You know.
That's what I'm trying to tell my daughter after college. Stay with us about 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't pay no bills. Stack your chips.
Yeah, stack your
because
chips.
once you get out there,
That's it.
you got deposits for everything. You got a rent or a mortgage. You got a car payment. Everything on you.
Yeah.
Everything on you know. You got to eat.
That's it.
Brandy asked the question: what are some tips for young adults to try and establish credit?
That's a good question. Young adults, old adults, any adult. It's credit. The thing about credit is you can mess it up. You can mess up credit and then you can rebuild it. And that's the good thing about credit, no matter who you are. First thing I would like to say back to not to talk about Brandy, but first thing I would like to say the rule of 72. Do you understand? Do you hear about the rule of 72? Mm-hmm. Have you?
I heard, but what is it?
Rule of 72 is like the doubling of the investment. So you take 72 and divide it by any interest rate, and that's how long it's going to take for your money or your payment to double on that car. So you pay $10,000 for a car, and you have say a car has a 24% interest rate, which is really high. And you take 72 divided by 24, it's going to take you 3 years. In 3 years, you're going to pay $20,000 for a car you paid that you thought that you paid $10,000 for. Yeah. And that's the same thing. So you take 72 divided by 3, it'll take you 24 years to double on that same note. So that's why it's important to know an interest rate. And the rule of 72. And that's for any investment. That's for in the stock market, in life index, anything. So you have to understand that. That helps you out. That helps me out a lot. And one of my teachers told me that. He said, you understand that, you could get rolling with money quick.
Yeah. Like we did for my daughter, we got her a credit card that my wife is on there with her. You know what I mean? So we're trying to help her build a credit like that and also establish financial responsibility, because I like the American Express concept. You know what I mean? Whatever you use, pay it off in 30 days or you ain't need it. You know what I mean? You ain't making no big purchase. So I think that's one way that it's a risky way, but I think that's one way young folks can get established with credit. Get a credit card in their name. You may have to pay it for them, but you're teaching them that responsibility.
That's one way. Another way is become an authorized user on somebody with a high credit card.
That's what I was going to say too.
So you got somebody with a $10,000 credit card or a $5,000 credit card, or $300 credit card who have 100% payment history. So if I knew Brandy and she was on one of my credit cards, my payment history would automatically roll over to her. She don't even have the card. It would automatically roll over to her and make her credit score look good, because her payment history, your payment history is 35% of your credit report anyway, which is a lot.
That'll build credit.
Right, that'll build your credit immediately.
Yeah.
Secure credit cards and establishing good payment history is very, very important, because it follows you for years and years to come. If you late paying your bills, and you have bad credit utilization, meaning that you're maxing out credit cards and you're still not paying them, that's going to always affect your credit. So I would start with a secure credit card, roughly about $1,000. That's your own money at your bank of $1,000, and they'll give you back the card and only use $300 of $1,000. And now you're building your credit and your payment history. Your payment should only be roughly $15 a month. By doing that, you establish a good payment history. So when it's time to get, roughly about 6 to 8 months later, they're going to start offering you big credit cards because you took your own money and used that. So they're going to be like, well, we got to at least match that, because she likes to spend her own money wisely. Maybe she could spend our money wisely too.
Yeah. And that's where you got to get that discipline in your life.
Right.
For that credit discipline in your life. Or like you said earlier, get your budget together so you know what all you got budgeted. So if you don't go outside your budget, you ain't got to worry about swiping that card, paying extra money, because they ain't in your budget anyway.
Right. So the first step is a budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Craig said, if you have a bank account, go to them and get a secure credit card. And that's another good way too, because if you put $500 on your child's account to get them started, once they spend that $500, that's it.
Right.
So they'll know they have to, from here to here, they got to maintain that $500. You know what I mean? That's a good way too. I think secure credit card.
Yeah, it's good to get them started early. you know, their teenage years, like both of y'all way is good. Like your way, as long as you monitoring the child, it's good. You stay on top of them, make sure that the bill is paid. And like Devyn was saying, when they're younger, you can do that when they're younger. 15, 16, put them in your card. If you got good credit, theirs going to build up. So by the time they're 18 and you teach them how to be financially responsible,
they fly away.
They fly away. They can go to that dealership.
And get yourself a bank account.
Yeah.
Stop using check, cash, and spot. Stop using the damn Walmart credit card or the Rush card. Or get yourself an account.
Well, those cards have those hidden fees, hidden finance charges that you don't know
That's
about.
what they hit you in the head.
$59 and you only got $9 in there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And you're like, what
Go
is
to
this?
the bank.
Yeah.
You know, I like credit unions myself.
Yeah, me too. I like credit unions.
Valerie said, if you add a person with a low score as an authorized user, does it affect your score?
No, it does not. It does not affect your score at all because you're authorizing them on your credit card. So it will help them. And now if you miss a payment, it's going to affect their score too.
Yeah.
But as long
So if you align yourself with somebody who's responsible, then you it's a win-win as an authorized user.
you're taking all the risk. The person who has the extra card is taking all the risk.
Right.
You're taking more risk than anyone. Because if I'm like, if I make a late payment, then now I'm bad off and you bad off. So now we both look bad at the family barbecue.
Hey man,
my credit messed up.
You make that payment,
Exactly.
you know, now you're putting somebody in your business. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to.
I looked at my credit score and it went down because of you now.
Bruh. They balling out. They balling out, bringing all kind of beer and weed to the to the cookout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, so how do you feel about co-signing for somebody?
Co-sign?
Co-signing.
I'm against co-signing for somebody because it ties you up. So you co-sign for somebody for 5 years, and that'll tie your credit. I'd rather coach you into how to get your own credit right, and either you buy like talking about like a car or something, right? Especially not a house. Like you co-sign a house for somebody, that's a whole nother situation.
That's a long time ago.
Like, 30 years. Yeah. I don't know what kind of relationship you got to have with that.
I mean, co-signing to me it is a way for people. You got to be in a business mindset. If you co-sign on somebody who's going to make a significant amount of business, like you got to have. What are you going to give me back in return? I'm not just going to co-sign you for you, and only going to give me return is nothing. You just fall off my credit. Now, if you co-sign for me, like say you co-sign for me, and I'm saying, well, I got this business plan, I'm buying houses, and you co-sign for me, and I'm going to give you, you co-sign me on $30,000, and I'm going to give you $3,000 in 5 years, plus interest. And we come into agreement, that's a good thing, because you made some money. See what I'm saying?
But the bad thing is, in some situations, you have to co-sign for these younger folks to get started. You do.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
In my history, in my
Say like if my daughter went to buy a car. My oldest daughter went to buy a car. She don't have any credit. So first thing they're going to look at is a co-sign.
I'm going to help you get something. Because me personally, I'm going to try to help you get something that you can get wherever you got to go. You know, that ain't going to break down on the road for you.
Right, I guess
but I'm not co-signing. Because people are people. They're going to miss a payment. The payment going to be missed. I don't care how good you are. Sometimes you get close to missing your payment, especially if you ain't got it in your phone like these days. If you ain't got something telling you, reminding you,
coming
out automatically, pay whatever a month, the minimum, just in case, the payment going to be missed. And hard times come, especially if your money is not where the level that you wanted at. Hard times going to come. One day, hey, the light bill going to be high, the phone bill going to be high.
I don't know, man. I feel you, but I just think everybody need a hand every now and then. You know what I mean?
So would you co-sign for somebody?
I would.
Besides your child?
I would. Depends on. I got some people in my family. I would.
Excuse me, I can't say that on the
camera. But Tracy said there is a difference between a authorized user and a joint account holder.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Authorized user does not report to the user credit. Okay.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, They ain't got no card, so.
Marion said, I've been there, done that years ago, never again. So I'm assuming you're talking about
co-sign it.
Co-sign it.
It don't work, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, it could, but I can't, you know.
The percentage probably high.
Right.
It don't work.
Darian Murphy said, I'll sign a 30-year mortgage with my son.
All right, now.
Craig said, I'm against co-signing. Darian said, but it's going to be my house too.
That's it. Yeah. My name.
But on a mortgage, he's going to win. In real estate, you always win.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he signed a 30-year mortgage, me and my dad signed a 30-year mortgage on a house that's worth $80,000 in 30 years. And my dad, say he's 45, in 30 years, you talking about $80,000, you talking about in Savannah, $190,000. And a rental property. It's all depending on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But as far as a vehicle, vehicles don't gain any value when they leave the lot.
They depreciate as soon as they leave the lot.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The vehicles are the worst.
I haven't co-signed anyway. I don't
I
predict.
did it one time.
I don't predict it going on in the future.
One time. That was my lesson, though. I had to learn that.
Yeah.
That was my never again.
Never
Okay,
again.
what situation?
You got burnt?
Who?
I hope I don't get that one.
No, back then I ain't even know nothing about credit. I said I had these credit, paid my little bills on time.
Yeah.
I did the cosign. Hey.
Burnt.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Burned like a mother. I said, hey, never again. It was cool. I learned my lesson.
Yeah,
Never again.
yeah. You learn you got burned.
Yeah,
At least you
like,
learn.
I need you to help.
At least you ain't got burned twice though.
But no, I be fooled then, right? I can't do it. I can't do it. But if you trust the person, hey, do what you do. I can't do it though. Never.
So my question is, if you're financially strapped, you live in paycheck to paycheck,
Right.
how do you start your initial savings? You know what I mean? What's a good amount to put back? I mean, how do I get that going?
What's a good amount to put back?
Mm-hmm.
$5. You can put down $5 a month. I mean, first of all, savings is very, very tricky. Banks are not designed for the working person. Banks are designed for people who make banks money, which are business. See what I'm saying? So you say, so on your bank account, on your savings account, you might only get 0.1%. Yeah. So when they say someone who's an entertainer made $100,000 on their savings account, they mean they had almost $100 million in it. See what I'm saying? That's a large amount. Credit unions help you out a lot more. They're way more negotiable. Saving $5, and then trying to increase it over time helps you a lot. Opening your own LLC and building on your own business credit helps you a lot. See what I'm saying? Even if you're making blinds, you make anything you want. You can write, as long as you can write a tax off, you write the taxes off for it, then you might get back $2,000-$3,000 that you could reinvest back into your community, back into you. By doing that, you can save more money. See what I'm saying? So that's what it's about, trying to save as much money as possible so you can invest. And then you have things, and that's a liquid savings, meaning that's a soft savings, meaning it's something that you could take and take the money directly out, which is a savings account. Then you have hard savings like real estate, precious metals, gold, stuff like that. Those type of savings are totally different.
So is it best to keep my money under the mattress or put it in the savings account?
Best, to me,
put it in the back of the TV like a Big Mama did.
I mean, then somebody break your house and take all your money.
I know they take
Now you
TV
guys do
money.
that.
I just talked to somebody today who somebody broke in their house and stole the entire safe. That's some crazy.
Yeah, they probably knew their safe was there.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I was thinking to myself, you gotta have some time to still walk out the house with a safe.
That's why I don't co-sign for nobody and let anybody in my house. You know what I'm saying? They don't want them two things.
When the barbecue?
Who?
You ain't no barbecue?
You can be in the backyard. You know.
Hey, so Charleston said it's so much deeper. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Charleston said, and I lost it.
It's so much deeper.
Oh, it's so much.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
It's so much deeper. You got to remember that some of our parents were never in a position to have these kind of talks with us. A lot of them didn't know better, so most of us have to learn the hard way to make it better for our kids.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. My mama raised 4 of us by herself, and I love her to death. But I guess she couldn't teach me to be financially responsible. She didn't know.
Right.
You know, so I learned that at a later date. Matter of fact, I was in the military when I learned that.
Right. At least you learned it though.
Blowing through money. I said, wait a minute, this got to be a better way.
Check every first and 15.
You know, hey.
got money coming in.
Right.
Yeah, and like Carl just said, they didn't know them, but they was under the whole thing of when they got money, they spent the money because how we were done in the past. You know, we would put our money in banks, and they would steal our money.
There was a time black folks didn't trust banks.
Yeah, so you know, I remember my grandma had that
Time right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Had her money in the house in a little sock and all that. Big water money. I'm like, well, she got money up in here. You know, as I got older, I learned, okay, this is why. You know, they ain't trust banks.
So Darian said, well, first of all, you have to cut things out. Like instead of going to Starbucks every day, make your own coffee at home. Yo, I got a Keurig that's a killer. I'm trying to find a way to get it to work and put it under my desk. Boy, I love that coffee in the morning there. But that's a good way. You know,
you talking about Starbucks $4 a day. Some people go twice. You talking about $8 a day. You start adding that up. Talking about $2,000-$3,000 a year on coffee, and you're still late to work.
Yeah,
and falling asleep.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're gonna talk about in a minute about website to help you track stuff like that, so you track your spending.
So Craig said most people who are financially strapped can look at what they spend a month on eating out and realize they spend a lot on fast food. Yo, that's true.
People don't cook no more.
You know, you eating out the whole time. That fast food shit, it ain't good for you. No way. You know what I mean?
Got a lot of sodium up in
there.
A lot of times the people who invest in somebody else's dream, because that's what you're doing when you're getting fast food. They start off just like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Starting right here. A lot of times it's people who travel. They got kids, so it's quicker to go get something to eat, go home. Cause you're in that rat race of going to sleep.
Yeah, people
They do. I mean, I don't even feel like cooking now. I'm going home and go to sleep.
Yeah, they do serve a purpose, but there's probably more times than not than you could have cooked at home and you didn't.
Yeah, you gotta do it early. You gotta do it on the weekend, the days you're off.
But like the NBA Finals, that's why they stretched them out.
Of course.
He throwing $22 million.
Of course.
Yeah, I see that. Like, oh man.
I think it was 2007 the last time somebody got swept. I think at that point they realized, we missed out on a lot of money.
Change, yeah.
We can't have it no more.
Not at all.
There you have it.
But yeah, you gotta fix your own meals. At least more than half of the week. You gotta cook. You know, you gotta cook every day. Every other day, you can make meals and stretch it out for a family.
The good thing about cooking is you got leftovers. That means you got lunch the next day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bougie people like that.
It is.
Some people don't like leftovers.
Go to a restaurant, eat deep on a Monday. Like, well, don't nobody cook today?
Yeah. You're like,
I thought I was the only one out here trying to get something to eat today.
Right.
Yeah.
So Keisha said people are looking for a quick fix. It takes time, discipline, effort, and work. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you're doing the right thing, you don't get a lot of money. But you gotta, you gotta save that money, man. It's gonna take some time.
But it's always what you do with your money too. So somebody who, I looked at a podcast the other day. A dude said if you make $150,000 a year for a company, you can probably make that company $150 million.
Right.
But if I got my own business, that I make $60,000 of my own legitimate business. Not only I work for myself, I give inheritance to my kids.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
You pass it off to them.
You can pass it all, and then usually they uplift it more, because if you send your kid to college or send them to some type of business school, entrepreneur school, they lift it up more, and they go from making 60 to like 150 or $2 million a year. See what I'm saying? So, but when you make $120,000 for a company, $150,000, and you make them $1 million a year, when you die, if you have not educated your family on financial literacy and financial freedom, that goes away immediately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You
see a lot though. You see like successful folks who work for different organizations and companies. They're successful. Some of their kids are, but most of them, they work. They don't know.
Life.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's your passion, that's your dream, that's what you want to do.
Right.
As far as that type job or career, but your child might, that ain't for me. I might not want to go to college and work that corporate job.
Right.
I just want to be regular.
I want to do art.
That's it.
On your money.
Yeah, and you can do it. No, you got to know how to do it. Like you say, hey, get your money right. Budget. Can't live above your means. Let's see what we got. No more questions. Oh, so okay. What about, are there any trusted websites to assist you with being financially responsible that you know
of? Well, as far as websites, I follow more people on YouTube than websites.
Gotcha.
I follow Jay Morrison.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all follow him.
Yeah, I follow him.
Boyce Watkins. He's
Dr.
very
Boyce,
good.
yeah.
Dr. Boyce.
Black Wealth Institute. Huh?
Yeah, and my brother Craig actually got those financial cards to try to teach our family about finances at an early age, like his boys or my daughter and stuff like that. So they know, that don't make any sense. That's not going back what we said. John Hope Bryant.
I follow him too, yeah.
And one that I follow is Juan Paulo with 100% Finance.
I watch him every now and then. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
those are really the 4 main ones I follow now. We got other ones out there. All of them, all of them are trying to move forward.
Yeah,
and that's the main part.
Yeah, that's good.
But I watch Boyce Watkins like almost every day.
Yeah, that's the man right there. That's the man. I as far as websites, as far as budgeting, Mint.com is good. Mint is real good because they can pull into your bank accounts and see what you got in there. Every time you spend something, if you categorize it on your budget, it'll basically give you a breakdown of what you're gonna spend every month. So if you budgeted $100 for food, eating out, you don't spend $500, it'll tell you. So you can correct yourself the next month. Like, okay, I don't spend too much. I gotta start cooking some more. Yeah. It'll lead you in the right way. So
pie charts get ugly at that.
Yeah, exactly. So if you buy something and it's not in your regular budget, it come up miscellaneous. Then you gotta go back and put what it is. So basically, you know everything that you're doing. So you can you got a picture. It's easy when you got a picture. Okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. This is why I ain't got no money. This is why I can't say that $5 a month because I don't spend it on something I ain't supposed to spend it on. So that's a good site. Credit Karma is a good site. Go to Credit Karma.
Credit Karma. I use Credit Karma. Credit Karma they use a system called the model called the 3.0 Vantage system. It's a couple different financial systems out there, and they use different systems to calculate your credit score. So Credit Karma is not. They are accurate for the 3.0.
Right.
They're not accurate for the FICO.
Right.
But the report is accurate and it's free. That's a good thing. A lot of people think it's free. It's 100% free.
Good data on them.
Yeah, it's very good data. So
I thought it was a farce actually. CreditKarma.com, but you can really get your credit report off of there, and it helps a lot. Hey, Craig said, for instance, starting small. For instance, if you have a job, you have 3 breaks. On those breaks, you buy 75 cents sold every day. That's 75 cents times 3. That's $2.25 a day. That's $45 a month. If you invest that $40 into a mutual fund or index, there's your start.
Exactly. And I agree.
That's a simple way to break it down right there.
That's a simple way to break it down. And universal life index is something that in my family we promote a lot. Where if you invest a small amount, maybe $50 to $100 at an early age, in 30 years you could have $150,000 based on the market. That's a significant amount. That's enough money to pay your house off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can pay your house off, maybe even buy your car too.
Yeah.
So if you could do that, that's a lot. Life insurance is one of the best ways that other cultures build wealth immediately.
Yeah.
So they put life insurance on their mother and father, and when they pass away, they automatically got money right there.
Yeah, to do what
they want. And they got to pay the bill. Like they might pay $500,000 on their mother, $500 on their father through the siblings, and then when they pass away, they automatically get their money.
Right. Yeah. That's when you can start building, like you say, you pay houses off, you can start your businesses, and start building wealth for the rest of your family.
Not to mention, these funerals are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You pay $500,000 for your funeral, dude.
Yeah, something wrong with that.
I just want to be cremated. Don't have no big funeral for me. Just cremate me. I'm done. Y'all move on with your life.
I'm trying to, no special caskets and nothing like that. Y'all ain't gonna see me no more. Once they get cast in the ground, you gonna take pictures of it.
Man, there's so much we could have talked about tonight. The topic is so broad. Anything you'd like to add, D. Patterson?
I just, keep moving forward. Find a way to find how to move forward. That's my biggest thing. I mean, I've been in situations that I thought I couldn't get out, but, keep moving forward. Do your research. Don't take a realtor, a lawyer, a stockbroker, anything. Don't take nothing for what they say. Write it down and do your own research on everything you do. And I guarantee you that you will go through it and you'll come through on the other side. You'll be like, well, at least I know it now. Even you know it, you want to know it and not be harassed.
That's true. Get with folks who are in what you're trying to do or done it, so you can pick their brain about some things.
Right.
Because if you ain't never did it before, you green, you don't know what's going on. If somebody's done it already, they can tell you what to look out for. So you already know it ahead of time.
Marion said, if I knew what I know now years ago, I would be better financially. I'm learning daily, though. That's right. We all are learning.
That's it.
Also, carefully read your benefits packet from your employer or company. These offers can work out on your behalf as well, especially over a long period of time.
Yeah, definitely want to read those.
Great topic and conversation, guys. Well, thank you, Mary.
Another thing you could do that we discovered was open an LLC for your kids, for yourself, when your kids are just entering high school for 4 years. Pay taxes on the LLC for 4 years. And after 4 years, they make them authorized user on their credit card and everything. Just authorized users. So by you buying stuff, they automatically building business credit, which is a whole other different subject. So when they graduate from high school, they could just go on and apply for their own credit card because they've been looking like they've been paying their business credit and they got tax. Put them on the payroll and everything. So they have a payroll, business credit, everything. So when time they graduate high school, they have their own. They can open their own LLC and grow on their own.
Yo, instead of our generation. By the time we got to high school, we found out we got a goddamn cable bill in our name, electric bill, water bill. You know what I mean?
I was 12 when that
I was 12 and had Cox Cable in my name. You know what I mean?
We want our money. You know, hey, pay us right now.
I don't think parents are, I don't know, but I don't think parents are doing that no more, man. You know.
You got a social security. What you talking about? Yeah.
That was the norm, though, back in the day.
Hey, cable still getting cut off, phone bills, light bills, water bills. They still cutting them off now for not being paid. Somebody
get it.
Junior finna get his name on something up here.
Boy, bring your social security card over here.
For real, he don't even know his own social security number.
That's very important, though.
Got to be more careful.
Yeah.
So listen, man, we got Devyn Patterson here with me. You gonna sit with us, Devyn, while we chat a little bit. We're gonna wrap it up. Keith Miller. We were supposed to have Keith Miller on from the Deep program, but he can't make it tonight. And that's one of the busiest brothers I know here in Savannah. So, you know, I was upset when he said he couldn't make it, but I understood because the brother is busy. He's in the Deep, is real busy with the Deep program and the Block by Block program. But we're still going to get him on here because I want to get the word out about Deep myself. That's a program that these kids express, can express how they feel through poetry and through wordplay. I mean, it's just brilliant. You know, last year I heard one kid talk about how she play outside and her sister was sitting in the window when they heard shots, how her sister never get down because she nosy looking, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's just amazing to hear what kids go through. So we're gonna still try to get Keith Miller on. I'm a fan of Deep, the Block by Block program. And Marion said, love Keith, great program, D enjoyed it. So listen, Bill Cosby. Let me say this. Any guests we have on our show, they are not responsible for commentary said by Voices in the Struggle. Please hold them responsible for only what comes out of their mouth. We're Voices in the Struggle, myself and Brother Reggie. We are Voices in the Struggle, LLC. This is our show. Okay? So, our guests are not responsible for what we may say, right? But, Bill Cosby, he got a mistrial. But, you know, the bad thing, it's a victory right now. It's a touchdown, but it's not the end of the game because they're going to retry him again.
I thought they couldn't.
They can retry him in a mistrial.
I thought it was said they weren't going to retry him.
Well, from what I read, right after the mistrial, they said the prosecuting lawyers said they're going to get stuff together for a mistrial. Now, if something changed, and I hope it did, I hope they just leave the man alone. Goddamn.
Yeah, they should. You're going to try it again.
You know, you looking at it. I don't condone rape at all, but he was a black man 30 plus years ago.
Right.
You know, I still say this. I don't care how popular you were. You were a black male 30 years ago. They're making Bill Cosby to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. Nobody was scared to. Everybody was scared to report this stuff 30 years ago. Come on now.
But
it's hard to believe.
Don't sound right to me.
Months ago, we talked about what was happening, what he was trying to do, to keep him from doing that. Because like, if y'all don't know, is reports he was trying to buy NBC. So with a black man buying a national network like that, it's the information you can put out there from a black perspective, you know.
Propaganda.
Right. It's like
It's also the point that once things become financial and things of that nature in America, that's a problem.
Right. Exactly.
when I say I can influence your money, I can take money away from you.
Right. Exactly.
Now it's a problem. Now you want to fight for real.
But imagine if he'd have bought NBC. He would have had uninhibited access and response. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he would have debunked all the other shows because hopefully he would have been putting out real news. Because news now is infotainment. It's not the news, it's infotainment.
Just get likes. Like on Facebook, just get likes.
Right.
I mean, and I explained that to a couple of people. I'm like, come on, if these news stations were real news stations, why do we have to pay for them?
Right, exactly.
Like, they were real news stations, should be free, ain't it?
Yeah. So it's like a bigger picture behind his story, as we already talked about before. They shouldn't have brought it back up, like you said, 30 years ago. Come on now.
30 years ago.
And look, the woman they had on trial with, you seen that? Hey, you seen that?
She's like Jenner before the.
I know that's Bruce Jenner right there. I say Bill don't slept with Bruce Jenner.
She might have damn drove him. And she the one to come forward on all of them.
What Lil Wayne say? Long neck, like Key Sweat does. She had the mullet and everything. She said, "I'm gonna show you how I looked that night." You know what I'm saying? Hey.
She looked like she was still 30 years ago.
Yeah. I said, come on now.
I'm like, more like 40 years ago.
Hey, that's why Bill had his eyes closed. He be like, ooh, she ugly. Hey, I feel you, Bill.
Hey, I think Bill got.
I mean, you got to think about the Cosby Show in general. Cosby Show, he was a doctor. Claire was a lawyer. They had kids who went to college. His son-in-law was a doctor. His other son-in-law was in the Navy. They had the black dream.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. Yeah.
From that they had the Cosby Show, the spinoff of Different World.
Different World.
Those are the sitcoms that talk about black folks doing great things.
Right.
Now you got Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
Atlanta Housewives.
Man, you had to look.
All this was premeditated.
My daughter
They took all the positive shows off the TV
and killed it.
Yeah.
My daughter's 8 years old, and she was at my house last weekend. She watched the Cosby Show all weekend. Every single episode of the Cosby Show has a moral story to it.
Exactly.
Every single one.
Yeah.
It might be funny, but you look at it as an adult, you look at it and be like, that made kind of sense of how you should act in certain situations.
Or good times.
Yeah.
Right.
That showed people they were poor, like most grew up in the project, but they still had fun.
Right.
You know, they still taught you not to do the wrong shit. I think James was everybody's father. You know what I mean?
Who gonna beat you? You get disciplined when you get home.
Exactly.
Yeah, you somebody. Yeah.
And Michael was everybody now. He was like, I didn't do it because of such and such.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, did he really say this?
But when that stuff happened to Cosby, that was the first thing they did.
Yeah.
Took Cosby Show off the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They did.
They
You can watch it on Bounce TV if you ain't got cable like
Yo, Bounce TV. I don't know.
It's some good stuff.
Bounce TV got some good. That's why I don't never know if they'll make it to DirecTV, Comcast, all great. They got some good shows. They got some good black shows.
There's some horrible ones too, but they got some good shows.
Yeah.
When I watch it come up, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Bounce TV.
So, I mean, all of this was deliberate.
I'm a fan of Bill Cosby, period.
I think it was too. Yeah, I'm a fan of him too.
Me too, but I gotta tell you, Bill Cosby, when he was doing his thing, he would give it raw and uncut to some folks, though. You know what I mean?
Hey, Bill.
He talked about black folks a lot. I like the cat, but he was a philanthropist. You know what I mean?
Right.
He gave so much money to HBCUs, man. You know what I mean?
And he promoted them on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a Savannah State shirt on.
Yeah, ain't nobody.
The Different World was all about HBCUs.
And that's how it really is.
Yeah.
One of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, he gave an insight of that it's more than just drugs and violence in the black community. We got blacks out there who have degrees, professional degrees, not like just a degree, a professional degree as a lawyer. And we got one who's a doctor and another doctor and an officer in the military. We have black professionals out there who make the community.
But you know what? If you watch the news, you would think that there are more black people locked up than there are in college. That's not true. Black women have the highest enrollment rate in college right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, just like the news, like they didn't want them to take NBC.
Yeah.
In any war, you take over a country. One of the first things you take over is a radio station, the TV station.
So you can promote what you want to promote.
Paul putting that propaganda out.
Yeah, you can promote what you want to promote. So I can tell you, because it might not even affect you immediately, but every 10 to 15 years or 5 to 10 years, it affects the kids who are 15. When you're 15 and you in something that's negative for 5 years straight, and now you're 20, you know, then you have a whole different situation on your hands.
Program, yeah.
Right. They control now with rap music and stuff of that nature, and the attack on the masculinity of the African American male. That's propaganda being put out.
All sides, you know.
Right, that's
food,
true.
the water, everything.
Right,
That's
true.
Yeah.
Right, so you're true.
The weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, all that. Mess with you, but yeah.
Your mind and body, it takes a lot to know what you put in there.
Yeah, you got to know what you got going in your body.
Yeah.
It's changing you.
So let me switch gears a little bit. Philando Castile. This brother got pulled over with his family, his girlfriend, and his baby in the car. He told the officer, "I have a weapon on me," and was still shot. You know what I mean? But I like to know what the freak were they looking at for the officer to get off, and two, why hasn't the NRA said anything? He said he had a weapon. That was part of his Second Amendment right. That's the big push for the NRA, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Second Amendment right. Why haven't the NRA said anything?
We weren't even people when the Second Amendment came out, was it?
No, we wasn't.
Yeah, so
we wasn't.
It ain't for niggas, you know.
Well, technically, you're not considered part of that amendment.
Obviously. Obviously.
That's not for you. You're not supposed to have a gun anyway. Because if you have a gun, you might shoot me with it.
But this is the thing. I think we have to get used to more black people carrying weapons, just like we are used to white people carrying weapons. If you see some guys carrying assault rifles in damn Walmart, you know they're white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you see some guys carrying weapons and they're black or brown, they won't make it to the Walmart.
No.
You know what I mean?
Shot right in the street.
So I think if you're black and you're old enough, whether you have a gun or not, you should get a concealed weapons permit. I think so.
And I agree, but I had a concealed weapon permit, and I was downtown Savannah, and I didn't have my pistol on me. And I tried to go in the club. He wanted to frisk me because when I flashed my ID, he seen my concealed weapon. I'm like, you're not gonna touch me because you see a concealed weapon. I'm like,
they can't do that in Georgia.
Hey, he said, "Hey, you do me a favor? Can you lift up your shirt?" No. Why? Because you got a concealed weapon permit. I just won't go in your establishment. I just go home.
Yeah. I mean, I carry my stuff with me almost everywhere I go. Almost everywhere I go. Sometimes I wear it completely out. Because I'm licensed for it.
Yeah.
And you ain't on the line.
Right. And you don't have to be licensed for the way completely out in Georgia. You can have open carry.
Lavanya said NRA stands for No Right for African Americans. That's about true. So Miriam said if he really wanted to shoot that cop, he would have been ready to fire when he walked up. Exactly. He wouldn't have been saying, "Hey, I have a weapon. I have a concealed weapons permit. Now I'm going to kill you." Who does that?
That goes back to the whole thing of the propaganda, like we always talk about, on the news, on the TV shows, the reality shows, whatever else they got. The picture us looking like, you know, we look like animals. So when they walk up to us, cause we don't understand. Cause when they walk up to us, they scared. They fear.
Bruh,
they fear us.
If all I watch is Fox News, I hate Negroes too.
It's CNN.
You know what I mean?
MSNBC. If you look at they're not as in your face as Fox News, but all the rest of them doing the same thing too.
Yeah,
the local news stations. Yeah, you know they're gonna, cause all the bad stuff is gonna be us. You know, every now and then they're gonna trickle in some other stuff.
See, but this is the thing. We're third class citizens. We've been victimized all our lives. We have education and economic inequalities. You know what I mean? How the hell did the predator make us the predator and them the victim? You know what I mean?
They control what is being fed to the people.
Yeah.
You know, they control all that. You know, if you got control over that, you can make anybody. If you talk to somebody long enough, and they tell you about somebody, that somebody's gonna do something that they said eventually, and you can like, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one, hey,
I mean,
you tell lies.
Look at him. Look at him with that hoodie on.
I mean, no,
You know?
it's a systematic way of racism. If you tell something, if I tell you the a lie for so long, eventually as a generation, they're gonna believe it.
You don't live it. You don't live
Right.
it.
Prime example, it's historic stuff here in Savannah that I thought was the projects all my life, and it was actually was a free village for black people that stayed there, and now. And now they tore it down and rebuilt it as a project. So my generation thinks, and my father's generation too, thinks that was how it was. It was a project. Yeah. It was a housing project.
Yeah. We want to know the history. You know?
You got to know your history. You have to, and that's why it's important for us to teach. And the stuff that they're teaching in school doesn't go back far enough. They only teach the bits and tidbits of stuff. We teach more about foreign countries than we ever do about. We'll teach. Why do we study French and Spanish in school? We don't even study our own history.
Yo, for you to study black history, you have to take upon that task on your own, because the school curriculum is not designed to teach you black history. That is to teach white superiority. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why you got now. I'm thankful there's a big push to get all these Confederate statues knocked down. You know what I mean? You know, there's a big push to say stop saying George Washington. Or Christopher Columbus discovered America. How the hell? It's just like me walking up to your house, knocking on your door, and say, "I discovered your house." Well, I'm already here. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you know, I think the curriculum needs to be changed. You know what I mean? We need to include more. I don't know the proper term, Indian, Native American. We need to include more of their history. We need to include more Hispanic people history. You know what I mean? We're getting away from the melting pot of America and just saying everything great was done by a white person. And that's not the case.
They run things.
You know what I mean?
They control the book.
They
control his printing.
That's not the case. Yeah. But you know, they have the keys to the propaganda machine.
They do. Yeah. As long as they got that, they're always gonna win.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's gonna be some of us on this side too. Like, hey, we don't want to learn about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all N-words. We don't want to learn about that. Y'all ain't do nothing. Because it's gonna be that thing is you tell them the truth. Most people ain't gonna believe the truth because you're so conditioned that okay, this is how I am. This is how we were. You know, we was hanging from trees in the jungle. You know, we wasn't nobody. You know, we got brought over here on boats.
We wasn't civilized before they came and got us.
What's the dude name?
Let me tell you something. That's why black folks were chosen as slaves because we were building so much on our continent. You know what I mean? And true enough, black folks were slaves in Africa. But there was of a different kind of slavery. If you owe somebody some money, or if you did something wrong, you work for them during the day, and you can go work your own land at night. Your kids were not slaves or nothing like that. You know what I mean? They saw the African civilizations we were building. Then they saw how hard black folks worked all season long. They tried the white folks first. They tried the Jews first. White folks were slaves. But it wasn't until black folks worked all year long. They say, hey, we need to go get some more black folk. So they all met in Berlin. They had what's called a scramble for Africa. These cats didn't even include Africa. These mother suckers met at the table and said, hey, this is how we're going to divide Africa. This is how we're going to invade Africa. And that's how they started the transatlantic slave trade. They went and robbed Africa of its men, of everybody. That's why Africans do reparations too. You know what I mean? Because if you got a big old house, or you got a staff in your house, I come pull all your staff out the house. Your stuff gonna go down because you ain't got nobody tending the stuff. You know what I mean? So Africa is still feeling remnants of that today.
Oh yeah, they taking all the resources.
That's why people kill me. Oh, they had slaves in Africa. Yeah, they did. That was a different kind of slavery.
Right.
It wasn't no inhumane treatment.
It wasn't any, you know, like they say slaves in Africa. Yeah, but you still kept your culture or whatever tribe
you did
or whatever.
You
did. Dignity. You kept your dignity.
Right. You know, you had your language and all that. Until we got over here, that's when they stripped us of all of that, and they taught us what they wanted to teach us. So everything we know how we think because they taught us.
Right.
So when you see somebody black out there acting ignorant, think about it. A white person taught them that. You know, because it's passed down. Yeah, we in control of our own households now, but what is in our mental right now, it was taught to us. That's why we act the way we act towards each other.
Let me ask you this: what have you heard of anybody receiving treatment from slavery?
You say treatment, like far as mental? No, no.
So after they say, "Hey, you're slaves," I mean, you're free. You're slaves. You're free. You ain't got nowhere to go. You still got that slave mentality. Most of the masters said, "Okay, come back and work for me. I'll pay you," which most of them never got paid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's how they build generational wealth.
That is.
Because if I own, because he like, if I read an article, George Washington would have been a billionaire. I said, if I had 500,000 people working for me for free, I think I'd be a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd probably be like a trillionaire.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, slavery nowadays, hell.
It was like they were like prisoners of war. If you think about it, PTSD and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
because the mental, not only the physical, the mental, it gets carried on from generation to generation.
Yeah. You know, one example I heard Dr. Umar say, he's like, you know how when you say, "Hey, your son Jamal doing really good in school. Oh, he doing all right. He better do better or see somebody bust his butt." Yeah. See, and that still happens today. When somebody gives your kid a comment or somebody a comment, you downplay it. You know, and that started from when the master come up and say, "Hey, little Jamal really works good in the field." Well, no, sorry, master, he doesn't work that good. He's just having a good day. You know what I mean? Yeah. That comes down from that, man.
Yeah, it's embedded in your brain.
Exactly.
You don't even know it sometimes.
Yeah. You know, but what kills me is when you start learning your history, you talk about your history, you share your history, people get upset. You know what I mean? When I talk about stuff, I don't say hate anybody because I don't hate anybody.
Right.
But the truth hurts. You know what I mean? When you start talking about stuff, when you start saying, "Hey, you proud to be black," and all this and that, then they look at you like you hate us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they playing that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
they're just playing that.
They're playing
you know, anything they feel they're gonna lose their footing. They're gonna say, you know, they're gonna get uncomfortable.
Because you know, if I tell you, okay, it sounds like you're being that reverse racism, whatever it is, that's racist. How do you love yourself more than you know what I'm saying? Love the group. Everybody in the group should be loved. No, I love me and everybody who look like me. You know, because we don't do that enough. We don't love each other enough. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna keep doing that. So I don't care what you think, whatever. You ain't gotta talk to me. You ain't gotta hang with me. I'm all right. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be around a group of folks who look like me. So if we go to an area or a social or something, and I'm looking for everybody who look like me. When I get there, they doing the same thing. They're not going to the group with all the black folks. You know,
that's why Black Lives Matter is a scream for help. You know what I mean? Because you know, people kill me when the Blue Lives Matter and the yada yada lie. That shit is all disrespectful to Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Because where's all lives matter when something happens to a young black man? Because that's disproportionately black men are killed by police.
Right.
And white men commit more murders on U.S. soil than anybody else. They talk about our ones and twos in our community. Of course, we have a problem.
Yeah.
But the mass murder stuff is committed by white males.
And I would believe that the ones and twos that we have are committed by in a poverty-stricken neighborhood that was on the downfall based on the economic development that goes on in that city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just committed in a place that's growing in like Silicon Valley. Black, you don't see no black guy running over there killing people.
Hey, you don't hear.
Right. You got something to live for, you know.
Right.
I got a little money I'm taking care of. I can feed myself, my family. I got a roof over my head.
I can make it.
I can make it. So,
but, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, so if you don't have nothing to do, and the only thing you do is you scheming on the next person next to you, you know, they got a little something, so I'm going to take what they got, or I'm going to take their life.
You know, I'm not saying it's right. We're killing off of survival. You know what I mean? You don't hear about a black guy going into a movie theater and shooting a movie theater. You don't hear about a black guy getting a van full of explosives and parking it in a parking garage.
We came from
you know what I mean?
A double parent household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't hear about that. You don't hear about a black guy walking into a church killing 9 people. You know what I mean? There's when a crime is committed, you could tell pretty much, with the exception of OJ, right in the back of that goddamn Bronco, you could tell what color pretty much committed. But we are the ones demonized and vilified in the news. You know, exactly. Michael Orr, Savannah Black, what up? We're gonna get you on here, man. We gotta link up. So, you know, I'm just saying, there's an unjust justice system. Oh, yeah. Everybody sees this. You know what I mean?
You see, they ain't gonna say nothing.
But you don't say nothing. Yeah. It's not enough anymore for you to get upset and not do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not enough anymore.
No, and they're not. And my take on it, they're not supposed to. You know, because if something's going on in my household and I'm not mad enough to try to change it or fix it in my household, my neighbors don't care. What are they gonna care? That's your household. You need to fix that. I got my own problems. That's how they look at us. Hey, y'all got your own problems. You know, they think they might not have been the ones who created the problem. You know, but they connected the ones who did. So it doesn't affect them. So they looking at us like, once you handle your business, I might be able to I might respect you a little bit more. But hey, you ain't doing it. You just walk by them just like I walk by them. Right. So why am I supposed to do something in your house or your kids? You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna step up.
But what do you say to the black males like Philando Castile? What's the guy in South Carolina? The Michael Slager was the cop.
I forgot his name. I forgot the brother's name.
You have they didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't.
They didn't do anything wrong. You know, we got to have conversations when our kids leave the house. You know, if the police pull you over, do this, do this, do this, do this, and they still get shot. Yeah. You know? See, but this is if we don't ever put this on a humanitarian scale, then nothing will be said.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
That's true. But those some folks ain't got a human mentality. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a human bone in their body, because if you was a humanitarian, you can look at somebody else, no matter what color or anything, you be like, okay, they're suffering. You know, I got the means of changing their suffering. You know, I can change the education, whatever, because it's some intelligent, smart people out there that in charge of this, what's going on, and they know what they're doing. So, hey, if I got the means to change their suffering, but I ain't got a human bone in my body.
Yeah.
You know, because hey, your suffering makes me rich.
Like when we had women from here. Marion Munn said if a black cop shot a white person, he would be fired and killed, or who knows what. That's true. Yeah. That's true. And that brings the question: how come you don't have black cops killing white kids?
What was that?
You have white cops killing black kids.
The black cop just got convicted?
The black cop just got convicted.
Did he kill a white kid?
I'm not sure. But a black cop,
he just got convicted. Yeah.
Just got convicted.
Yeah. What about I think he was a Chinese cop in like New York?
Yeah. Raping them women. Yeah. He got convicted.
Yeah.
So you see the pattern here? You see the pattern?
Yeah.
But the thing is, once they convict one or two white cops, it's going to set a standard. They don't want to set the standard.
I don't.
This is the problem. I like cops. I do. I'm a fan of cops, of all civil servants. If you signed up to run the danger or save somebody's life, I'm your fan. But the problem I have with cops is when your buddy do something wrong, there's a code so strong where you don't say nothing. You're complicit in it now. You know what I mean? So I stopped using the term good cop, bad cop. Although there are some good cops and there's some bad cops out there.
You do your job.
But a good cop wouldn't stand by and watch a bad cop do something. But I think it's a culture that's created in them because, hey, I got to know, I got to trust you.
But and a good cop, or even my thing is a black cop. If you see him doing, just like when the brother in South Carolina got shot, there was a black cop on the scene with him. He was in the with it. So that means you don't like black people either. You look at yourself and you don't like yourself in the mirror. Because if I'm a cop and I see you shoot a black man, you going down too, partner.
Valerie brought up a good point. How do you get two white men serving life, kill two cops, they get captured without any injuries? That's very true. When I saw them cats laying there and they apprehended them,
chilling.
That was crazy.
Everybody just standing around. Ain't no foot on nobody's neck.
Yeah.
If it's us, they trying to arrest one of us. They all them on the top bus got a foot on their neck. I say, man.
That's very true.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that.
They should have been dead. They should have been. Think about what the brother in California when he did.
Laura Ramirez, welcome.
Yeah, when he did what he did, they went up in the mountains, got him, killed him. He won't come back alive. Right. He won't come back. But these cats here, they don't kill two of their own, 2 officers. You just they on the ground chilling.
Dylan Roof. Somebody called in and said, "Hey, I see him."
Yeah.
This cat gets picked up unharmed, taken to Burger King. It feels to be a black. You know, I hate to keep talking about black and white, but God damn it, that's what it is.
I
mean, if Dylan Roof would have been black in that car, they would have shot in that car.
What about the kid on the swim team raped the girl, and they let him get like fully dressed in a suit? You know, they showed his picture. They show him in a jail suit. They showed him in. That creates an image. They don't show him shackled.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, Dylan Roof with a bulletproof vest on.
Right.
Yeah.
It was one case where a guy who committed a racially motivated crime. He had a whole bunch of tattoos on his face. They was paying like $6,000 every time he had a court appearance to cover up all the tattoos on his face.
To give an image that he's
right. They don't want that. They didn't want that to be to the jury to see that and be a determining factor. Why? That's what he did this stuff in. You know what I mean? Bradford Charlton said the guy in Cali, they blew him up in the drone. That was true.
Yeah.
This guy who was on top of a roof or a parking garage or something, they blew him up with a drone or one of them little car things. We heard nothing else about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the black survival rate is just something else.
But think about it like this. That's why I feel that we feel. I feel that we fail to think about things. What is their agenda? When they do stuff like, or when they don't do what they're supposed to do, you know, white folks, whoever runs the propaganda machines, what is their agenda? What's the overall agenda? So, and it's like this. Like the Bible said, the last gonna be
we're going to
first,
get to your
the first gonna be
comments in
last,
just a minute.
So if they know something that we don't know, so if I let you rise, I got to come down. You know, not saying that you're going to treat me like I treated you, but if you rise, if I take my foot off your neck, you're going to get up. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be the man you're supposed to be, the woman you're supposed to be. You're going to have the family you're supposed to have, and y'all going to go on and live like y'all supposed to live. You know, like kings and queens. But if I let you rise, that's my fall. So they have to do what they have to do. You know, just like we got to do what we got to do. So until we take that train of thought that, hey, we got to take care of our own and do for ourselves and do our own
unity, baby.
Until we get that train of thought, because they have that. It's like you playing a team in football or basketball. They have a game plan,
bro, and that game plan is they have a deliberate agenda to get us in jail.
Right.
Because with the privatizing of prisons,
killers,
the city and the counties have a mandate to keep those prisons at like a 95% fill rate.
Well, it's like we're paying checkers and they're playing chess.
Right.
Exactly.
That's two totally different. It's on the same platform, but it's two totally different games.
So if I can arrest you, I know you ain't got money for bail. I can arrest you over some stuff you ain't even do. But you can't get out because you can't post no bail.
Because I got 2 or 3 charges.
I'm filling that quota of that prison pipeline. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Hey, even if you sit in the county, you sit in there, I'm gonna let you sit here as long as you can. 6 months.
Right.
Yeah, you got a couple charges on you. Hey, on
That's
one
foolishness.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you know, but it goes far beyond that because you lost your job, you lost your apartment or house.
Right.
Your kids can't go to school because they're looking for you. Your wife or your girlfriend, she on any type of government assistance. They cut that off because they found out you were staying there. So it trickles down.
Yeah.
And so what it does, the next generation is in the same hole or deeper in that hole.
That's it.
Unless we can get at them and break that cycle.
Yeah.
It's all about breaking the cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta stop letting them teach us. That's the main part.
My whole thing is ownership is the key. Personally, when you own stuff, they can't really tell you to do in your neighborhood. Like I own the whole block.
You have ownership. That's true. But then too, you got to get in that whole political thing because you got to have the right people in the right legislation for your community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you got the wrong people, you can own everything. But they change the laws on us all the time.
But say if I own this whole block,
Mm-hmm.
and then you run for office,
Uh-huh.
and I own this whole block, and it's like me, and say aunt, my cousin, my
Yeah.
brothers, and
Yeah.
we own everything,
Mhm.
and you run for office, you
Yeah.
can do what I say do, or we ain't gonna
Yeah,
vote for you.
you got to put that money behind that person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You ain't put that money behind that person, so he can be or she can be a free, whatever alderman, whatever they're gonna be for that area.
Right.
If somebody else puts money behind them, they be like, sure, hey, this, especially if they're not right. If they true politicians and they dirty, they're gonna take the highest bidder. But if this is my community, I serve this community. Y'all got money behind me, not as far as paying me my salary, but money behind me so I can get this stuff done for us.
Right.
That's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't got that, it don't matter who you put up there. If they're not in the community or for the community, hey, they're gonna sell out to the highest bidder.
Let me get at some of these comments. Miriam said a lot of black folks are still enslaved mentality, which is why many don't care or speak against crimes that others commit, such as white cops killing us blacks.
No.
Yes, there's black on black crime, but at the end of the day, that black that kills another black end up going to prison if he is caught, and so you still have a loss. Michael Orr said, "What he at? I have a felony for something I didn't do." Love Yvette said, "You have black cops who stand by their white cops' colleagues and see them doing wrong, and they won't open their damn mouths out of fear of getting killed or losing their job." That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Lavanya Stevenson said, "Right, Devyn, it's about the image." Laura Ramirez said, "The majority of these cops are dirty, and being that the system is run by white folks, we of color don't stand a chance. It's sad but true. We're seeing that today." Michael Orr said, "Georgia Lotto money is prison private industrial complex." Valerie said, some black people feel they are supposed to be poor and don't deserve better in life. They feel parents didn't have and they won't have. They're downtrodden. Love said, "They are trying to eradicate us black, not just in America, in the world. I wish I would not have gotten my tubes tied. I don't disagree with interracial relationship, but it diminishes our blacks race as a whole." Just a little something to think about. If you get caught chilling on your block without the deed, and you can still get arrested for criminal trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Another law.
That's true.
Yeah, another law.
I think our only way ahead is to unite.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta,
Start some after-school programs in our community.
we got to.
Stop shopping at these Chews and these other places because we're visitors in our own community.
Yeah.
We don't own nothing in our community.
And you get treated like dirt.
Dirty.
Right.
They yell and cuss at you.
Most of the time,
Hurry up and buy.
right. Who you talking to?
What you want? What you want?
So we're dealing with people that's not putting anything in our community.
Yeah.
All of our money leaves out our community.
Hey, look at
You know what I mean?
Look what I'm trying to do, right? I was telling somebody last night, I want to open up my own Chinese restaurant in the hood. I can't do no worse than they do. Food, gas, and flavor. Own Chinese restaurant. Hey,
Yeah,
it ain't real Chinese food.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty about free enterprise in America.
Yeah.
If you want to say you want to open an Indian restaurant,
Yeah.
and you go in there, you got good food, people
That's
will
it.
patronize.
what's the problem with putting drugstores in our? Where's a drugstore in walking distance in one of our communities?
Oh, he on the corner.
It's not.
Yeah, he on the corner.
You can go get a 40. You can go get a bag of chips
You gotta walk in
or something.
drugstore,
If you got to go get your grandma a prescription,
yeah.
you can't get there.
You're right.
Right.
You can't go deposit your check. You can go cash your check.
Where's the grocery store?
Where's
the
the
black
grocery
owned
store?
grocery
Yeah, food deserts. We got
You
food
know?
deserts in the hood. Yeah. We got food deserts.
I mean, I just think we really need to take a look at our communities and hold them responsible. The problem is, it's not going to be comfortable.
What's the feel about
You're going to be inconvenienced.
What you think the will be the stepping stone of the center block of that movement?
I think it's going to take for us to get comfortable living in an uncomfortable situation. If you're used to walking up the street to Chews or Bobo's or wherever you go, don't go there anymore. If they're in your community, just simply go ask them, what are you doing for our community? Are they sponsoring intramural sports?
Right.
Are they sponsoring the after-school program? Are they doing anything for our kids? But we're doing everything for their kids.
Right.
Don't shop there. You know what I mean? If we go 1 to 2 days without no shopping in our neighborhood stores, that little day or two will have a significant effect.
Yeah, we can.
But the problem is people don't want to be uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they actually are more uncomfortable now. Because they put up with it.
Exactly.
Right.
They're more uncomfortable now than they realize.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's because they're scared of change. Because you know, if I go in this direction, yeah, I'm going against the grain. As what I know is against the grain. But they don't know once they get through a certain part, it's going to be easy. Because
it'll be smooth.
Yeah, it's going to be smooth. But then, too, we have to, like you say, our unity. We come together. Everybody put some money together. We can get that store.
Bro, if we start a football league, we go to Chew. I keep saying Chew because they're predominant on it. If we go to Chew, say, hey, we got a football team going. We need you to be a sponsor.
10 grand. We need 10 grand.
If you're not a sponsor, we won't shop here anymore. Everybody from that community stop shopping there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We go to each business like that because let me tell you something. We are not high on the economic scale, but we are the #1 consumer in America. Well, for one, because we're not producers.
Yeah.
But if we cut back on that consuming and hold people responsible, you know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
It'll change overnight.
Yeah. People are not going to listen until you hit them in the pocket.
Yeah.
You can walk and you can protest and sing Kumbaya all day.
Yeah.
But if that result is not sitting down talking to somebody at the end of the day for some demands that you have, then it was all for naught.
Right.
It was all for naught.
Yeah,
we gotta hold people responsible.
Yeah,
That's our biggest thing that we can wield is the black dollar. We don't own shit.
Then we got to buy. Then we buy it up. You hold the money back.
Yeah, but you got to hold, like you said, you got to hold. It's a moral responsibility.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just for your kids, either for everybody.
Right.
You see somebody doing something stupid, you tell them, hey man, and then you ask them why they doing that. First of all, and because they might have they might don't know. They educate them.
They might don't know.
Right.
See, but this is our thing. Our problem is instant gratification. That won't be fulfilled with us. If I go back and stop shopping in my community, I probably won't see too much of a change. But our kids will.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you can look at your kids and say you are happy with them doing, with the way everything living now, then don't do a goddamn thing. But it's little sacrifices, little changes that we can make that can make a difference.
Right.
I think so.
But it take everybody.
I think the kids will see it if we do that, and enough of us do it. We go to that black establishment, you know, buy with them whatever they have, and in turn, you know, they can give. Maybe our kids come up with a business idea. That establishment, they got enough money. Okay, we got this enough money we can donate to your business to get you started.
Right.
You know, even if it ain't nothing but $1,000, hey, most business $1,000 is a good start for you. You know, especially for a child trying to do something. That's $1,000. They ain't got to. They can use that and go ahead and start the road. And if we got enough businesses doing that, they got something good that's coming in the neighborhoods. They donate to that. You know, a few thousand a piece. That person get their business is started. Maybe their first year is a little smoother. They ain't got to struggle. You know, they can pay their bills. They can pay their rent, the utilities, and they can live and they can grow their business. You know, just like some of the folks who come from overseas. That's how they do. All the families. I was at the restaurant yesterday. I seen droves of Asian folks. They got cars and everything. I guess they was at the other restaurant, other Asian restaurant. They came over there to this restaurant. I don't know if they was coming to eat or what, but just to see all them come in their restaurant. And they're in the little plaza. They never go to any of the other restaurants in that plaza. They go to their establishment when their brothers.
They rotate their own money.
Right. You know, they spend it with themselves. They, like us, we want a variety of everything. You know, I want some of this, I want that. Right there. No, go to your people.
Yeah.
Go to your people. Eat. I don't care. Hey, if you eat out all the time, go there 3-4 times a week. Then okay, go over there and try something different. But go get them some money.
Some of our problem is too, you could have the same products in 2 stores. $10 for this product in this store, $10 for this product in the black store. You're going to go to the black store and say, why they charge it so much? But you're going to go and pay that $10.
Well, it's
right there.
That has something to do more with economics of how, because we don't supply anything. So we have to pay more to get it.
That's what I tell folks.
So it might cost you a little bit more.
Yeah, we don't have that overseas connection. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'll go to a black business and pay a little more.
You should. You should. You know. But in the thing of that, with black business, they have to be legit. They have to be, if I go to a black business, I want the same experience if I go to that.
And that's another thing. That's another thing.
Or better.
That,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, don't take my dollar for granted now. I'm coming to support you. I expect a high level of customer service too now.
I think even with, I think as far as small businesses, because even white small business, I think they some of them are shady too. You know, because it's a small business. The bigger, more established businesses that you can sue, they got their stuff together. You know, they've been in the game a while. They got, you know, they got the capital and all that good stuff. So they can hire different type of people. The smaller businesses, I think some of them have trouble because they got the capital, everything to start their business, but they're not business minded. Some of them, but a lot of black businesses are good. Most of them I go to,
they are.
Yeah, they're good because every now and then you're gonna get one that's sorry, but I don't use a lot of white establishments though.
Yeah, I went
I
to
try to use as much black as I can.
Yeah, we went to Ben's Chili Bowl. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great. Chili was good. I went to Nairobi's here in Savannah. You're gonna wait a little bit, but they giving you fresh food though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody nice. Putts, guts. You know what I mean? Great food, great selection. I think that's one of the most underrated restaurants around here.
I think,
you know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of good black businesses. We just don't support them, or we don't know where they're at.
Oh, we don't. You really got to search to find a black business, though.
We don't support them because I think we look for every little thing to be wrong with the business. You know, let's go down and spend some money. Hey, you go anywhere and spend some money. You go through the drive-thru, they get your order wrong, you still eat it. You know, hey, you still eat it. Hey, but that's all the way how you talk to people. If you got stuff wrong, hey, go back to hey, look at it.
And here in Savannah, if you promote that you're a black business, you won't make any money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what you said.
Yeah,
that's when everybody should go. Yeah, you should frequent that business. You know, I don't care if you go.
I mean, when I was at Savannah State Homecoming probably 10 years ago, dude had a shirt on. It was a black T-shirt. Yeah, white, right. I support black business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, I do my best. If I know you're out there, I'm going to find you.
If you don't support black business, who are?
Right.
And we can't be ashamed to say I support black businesses. You know what I mean? But this is the thing. When you say you support black business and I'm pro-black and this and that, they have made that a negative statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have made that negative. Why? Yeah. I don't have to hate you to love being black. You know what I mean? I do.
That's it. Especially the ones in our neighborhoods. You know, you definitely, they're the ones within reach to you. You're supposed to go there all the time. All the time. Hey, anything they got that you need, I would go. Because you got to sacrifice. Because I ordered, it won a lot. I ordered the other day? Get them $156 worth of products on WeBuyBlack.com. You know, the shipping costs more than anything, but hey, I'd rather pay it to them because I know they supporting their families, and I think it's for a better cause than go somewhere else and get the same stuff and they don't care nothing about it.
Well, another thing though, make sure whatever black business that you invest into, like you put your money into, make sure that black business turn around reinvesting that money back into the black community.
Right. You got to.
And not taking them, because a lot of those black businesses take their money and goes and leave the area and take your money and goes wherever.
Yeah, they go somewhere else. Yeah.
That money need to go right back, cycle back in. Yeah. So that's why it's important to have like the black barbershops in the neighborhoods and just everything black. The black grocery stores are starting to pop up now. The black herb shops, black gas stations, and support them. And don't go in there with no attitude. You know, you treat everybody with respect. Now, if you give me attitude,
but even then, you give me because it's all the way. Because sometimes when folks got attitude, which is how you present yourself. And when you're arguing with yourself, fool arguing by themselves, they tend to be like, okay, maybe it's me.
They can't argue with themselves.
Exactly. You know, maybe it's
maybe
me.
I'm tripping.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my bad. Because hey, you never know, somebody might be having a bad day. Hey,
coming out feeling about 10 pounds lighter.
Man, we don't want all that.
All right, I got some comments. Miriam said, look how far the community pools are. It's hot in summertime. How the kids that live in low-income housing or parents that don't have cars going to get there? Why do some people get out of the pool if a black or blacks get in? I seen it happen.
The water going to get dirty.
Love said now's the time for black business to come out and take advantage of this opportunity, because there was a time when black people couldn't own a business. The white people would run them out and kill burn their building. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Miriam said we need a black business book that advertises all the black-owned businesses in Savannah or surrounding areas.
I'm on that.
That is very true.
Yeah, they used to have one back in the day.
That's very true.
They even they put out, it's like I forgot the name of the book, I got it at home. But I went to Marlins Cafe on
I
President
haven't
Street.
been there yet. I heard that was good though.
I bought you food from there one day, man.
Did
I
you?
went up there. You had something?
Well, it was
But,
good then.
Yeah, I went to Marlins Cafe. But they had a little book in there. They had some of the businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the dude's name. There's a brother who do it around here.
I mean, it should be everybody. Everybody,
Yeah.
You know, if you're a legitimate black business, if it's from real estate to washing cars, if you have a legitimate business license in the city of Savannah, in Chatham County, especially in Pula, and everywhere surrounding counties in the area, the metropolitan area, you need to be able to see that, and that's very important. You know,
Right.
there's certain things that even I'm not that old, but even certain things that we couldn't do as kids growing up. Like for instance, the city didn't have baseball when I was growing up.
Right.
We played in the county league.
Mhm.
So the city, all the black neighborhoods, we had softball. We all know no grown man played softball in high school or college. So that eliminates people going to college for baseball right now. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now everybody has baseball. See what I'm saying? And you know, coaches are a big thing in Savannah. The coach league is huge in Savannah. You go to Devyn Park on a Saturday morning, boy, you might be at there 2-3 hours watching football.
And that's my thing. I think it takes stuff like that for, you know, coaches and tutors and mentors, because we have to get back to looking at the regular hard-working guy as a role model.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not a guy who owns all this materialistic stuff. You know what I mean? But somebody who you see every day,
That you can
who's
touch,
working
yeah.
hard, staying out of trouble.
Mhm.
Those are freaking role models.
Right.
But
Those
we,
are the role models.
I think
Those
they
are
have to
heroes.
be, yeah, they have to be present.
Right.
You know, for them to see that. You know, yeah, it's they see them, but they got to be present for them. They got to go seek the kids out
Mhm.
so they can see them. You know, instead of all in the phone trying to see what so and so did, and you know
Mhm.
what clothes they wearing that they ain't gonna be able to afford. You know, I ain't gonna say ever, but they might not 9 times 10. Oh, $200 pair of pants that look like trash. They ain't gonna be able to
Well,
afford
a
it.
necessity, regardless. You can afford them a lot. It's not a necessity.
Right.
You can live without them. A lot of,
Yo, I was in I think Polo the other day. They had a pair of drawers for like $45. Man, listen, I'm gonna go to Walmart and buy 3-4 pair for $11.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time I'm just using that as an example, but
Yeah.
good Lord Almighty, boy.
we get a Groupon.
But listen, we had another George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin incident in Raleigh, North Carolina. A guy named Chad Copley. He called the police and said, "Hey, I'm on the neighborhood watch, and was going to secure my neighborhood from hoodlums and freaking black males with firearms. So the state law in North Carolina bars the 911 caller from giving you names, so you can call anonymously, right?" So this cat stood in his garage, and he fired his shotgun from his garage, fired his shotgun across the street where some black kids were having a party.
Yeah.
You know, how did you feel threatened at that point? But nevertheless, he shot 20-year-old Corin Bernard Thomas, who was attending the party,
Yeah.
and he later died. So Thomas died at the hospital, but this cat was arrested. See, but this is the mentality they're getting right now. With number 45 as president, they feel a renewed, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Then the police are killing black males to get away with it. George Zimmerman did it. Hell, I can do it too.
Really.
You know what I mean?
They've been here, ain't nothing changed. Now with the social media, you can record stuff. Now you get it right, the action right there in front of you. So they've been at it.
That don't even make any sense though. Like you fire your weapon from across the street.
You were standing. Copley fired his shotgun from inside the garage toward the street. You stand in your garage. Y'all get out of here. Nobody was even on your property. You know what I mean? So you know, I'm just anxious to see how this going to play out. You know, I don't know, it just makes no sense.
No, it don't make no. That's the mentality, man. That's something they think that way. Our life ain't worth nothing.
Right.
It ain't worth nothing, you know, because it's like we go back before. What TV show you, what the movie show you, us in a negative light. So
You go to jail.
yeah.
They're justifying the shooting. Most people believe, if a black person was shot, especially a black young male, then they deserved it.
How is that justified? I'm not. You know, All three been in the military. So lower armed conflict. What do you mean? I'm not threatening you. That's crazy.
You in his country. What he think is going. You're a threat to him.
And speaking of the military, when we go somewhere with a weapon overseas, we have what's called rules of engagement.
Mm-hmm.
The police are supposed to have those too.
Right.
If we, you know how you come back on base and we clearing our weapon,
Mm-hmm.
if we accidentally fire around, we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, but the police are getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, different set of rules. Yeah.
Right.
Different set of rules. But it's when you don't value black life, it's easy for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
cross the street, down the street, up the street. Hey, put a bomb on you. Hey, blow you up.
Mm-hmm.
It's he's doing. And think about it. I always think like this: the circles those folks are in who are doing this. What are they talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's something they're talking about, you know. So it's they see something on TV, and you see us on the news. Everything is majority negative.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you see that, okay, they ain't gonna never get it right. We brought them over here. We gave them a job. You know what I'm saying? We had to let them go. We had to let them stop working for free.
Mm-hmm.
Then we let them go. They ran wild.
Mm-hmm.
They was already wild, but when we had them tamed, they was all right.
Them lazy niggers
Yeah.
when we start working for them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't work. We got 6 generations out of me now. Now I'm lazy.
Now we lazy.
Exactly.
Like,
Now we lazy.
I'm lazy now.
Yeah.
6 generations later.
Wood.
120 years.
I know, right? Hey.
Valerie said number 45 says aggravated and encourage racism. I wholeheartedly agree. Brad Charlton said, when I went to Afghan, they told me if I shot someone over there and it was justified, then I just created the enemy of the U.S. So why don't they think that's what they are doing now? That's true.
That's a good point. But,
That's a good point.
But we don't think that way, though.
No.
We don't think that. When they shoot us like that, we still, like we was talking about going to shop with your own folks. You shoot us in the middle of the street like that, and we still go, okay, I'm going to go to your store. I'm going to do this. Yeah, we don't have a lot of stores, but the ones we got, you know, you stop, you, like say, withdraw your money from them, you know, and they'll feel something other ways. So when we continue, they shoot us down, we still, okay, I'm still going to go back to Mr. Charlie's store and buy something from Mr. Charlie. Hey, Mr. Charlie, all right, but no. Mr. Charlie ain't saying nothing about it.
Business as usual.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We making Mr. Charlie rich. That might be his nephew.
Yeah.
You don't even know it.
Mr. Charlie, because Mr. Charlie's kid go off to college and
Right.
become your boss.
Your boss, your lawyer,
Your lawyer,
your doctor, hey, your kid's doctor.
Right there.
Hey, you know, hey.
Like that big hype they had about taking your money out and putting it in the black bank. I said, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I done did mine already. I support the black bank.
I support the black bank.
Carver State Bank, I think that's the only black bank around, right?
Yeah, Carver State. So I got mine in there. And my thing with the black banks, even if you put your money in the black banks, you can still, on payday, you can take your money and put it back in the regular, whatever bank you want. They just need it that first day or two so they can get, okay, I got X amount of dollars in here, so they can start giving out loans to us. So you can always transfer your money back the way you want to go.
I understand that, but and maybe it's different now. I check it out now that I'm back. But my experience with black banks, they won't give me a loan. But I want to talk about a regular bank, they gave me a loan.
But
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I think because they're not established as they want to be or the other big banks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they can't take that risk
Right.
like they probably want to take.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
They can't get. They can only get so many loans. They ain't got that much money in their bank anyway. Because we don't bank. We're White Covey. We're Bank of America. We at the credit union. We're Navy Federal. We everywhere else. But if we bring our money to Carver State will have enough money in there to give out loans. You know, I think I forgot what it was. Savannah got maybe the black folks bring in about $2 billion. I think might be more, might be less. But if the majority of us put our money in Carver State,
Right.
you know, they got money in there, so they can give out because they got room for error. So if you don't pay back your loan, and most of the loans are gonna be what either cars or property. They're gonna get their money back through property. You know, they just resell it to somebody else. They're gonna get their money back, but they don't have enough. These even little small banks, local banks, they got enough money because bigger banks probably own them, whoever. But they got enough money in their bank. They can give you a loan.
So so you like Carver State Bank?
I like them. They don't have the most updated. I say is technology. Well, I ain't gonna say it's good enough for what you need. The only thing I don't like, they don't have enough ATM machines around. But for the service, yeah, I like it. you know, you might have to pay some extra fees. I paid a little $5 fee or whatever it is. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. 'Cause we talking about sacrificing. So I got to sacrifice. Like I say, you get your money whenever you get paid. You can transfer it back to your other bank if you want to. You know, or the majority to pay your bills or whatever, or, you know, you spend the money back to the other bank. But they ain't did me wrong yet.
Right. They need, I think they need to, you know, I would say they need to either, and do, you know, do to help out the black community. I would say they need to maybe have some classes on like economics and financial literacy, and that would help promote them. And also, they might need to get like a sister bank that kind of grow their image and make them a little bit more savvy. Because I look at their website, I'm like, man, I can't transfer no money from this website.
They're behind technology.
They probably are behind on technology because they're a standalone bank.
Right.
They're a standalone black bank. And they're probably blackballed because they're a standalone bank. You know, they don't have the chain, you know, the chain stores behind them and everything like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so you know, some stuff gonna be a little different.
And I forgot how much. I think I read it somewhere. How much money I guess supposedly have in the bank. But compared to that, to even one of the Savannah small banks, I'm quite sure it's not as much as you know one of these little small rinky-dink little banks around here. Because they probably got, you know, their big cousin over here. Hey man, give me 100,000 or 100 million, put in my bank. You know, so it's hard. But if just me and you go bank up there, it ain't gonna affect too much. Right. But us as a community, we got to go over there. And
I mean, I done rolled past some credit unions. There be a line outside. I'm like, man, come on, man, really?
Yo, that doggone Navy Federal Credit Union, right by across Stephen Oglethorpe Mall. They must be giving some extra. That thing is always packed, especially
45 minutes
on Friday.
I
was like, what the hell are they doing?
45 minutes. I'm like, man.
I mean, the bank open. People standing in line in ATL. Oh, I don't understand it.
The line out the door.
But then some people don't understand about that. Well, I ain't even worried about it. Anyway, but that line be long. I go over there, I turn right back around. Well, when I still got a bank account there just in case I want to transfer money into it if I go out of town or something. But I don't go inside.
I go to the dollar store right next to it when I'm on the ball out a little bit. Take me $10 in there, baby. You know, walk out with a bag full. Winning. Hey, but listen, I want to thank Brother Devyn Patterson for appearing on the show, Voices in the Struggle, giving us some good financial tips that hopefully you guys can take away from here, and myself included, and be better financially responsible and smart. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Devyn?
You can contact me on Facebook, Devyn V. Patterson, just on Facebook. I talk to anyone about moving forward in life, trying to grow something for their family.
All right.
So
I appreciate y'all having me on the show. And, you know, anytime you want to talk.
Come on, man.
Hey, we gotta have you back, man.
Very insightful.
Absolutely.
My Skittles.
Yeah, hey man, we ain't got no Skittles.
We
ain't got no budget. We broke. Call State won't give us no
Skittles
loan.
and iced tea as well.
They won't give us no loan.
Shit. Brother Reggie, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No. I'm saying we out.
Hey, listen. Myself and Brother Reggie are going to head up another visit to the communities. We're going to go out there and talk to some focals. We're going to talk to some folks right there in the community, some kids, some adults, let them know that we love them, and we're going to assess their needs and see what we can do for them. You know what I mean? Because I believe that there are enough organizations in Savannah to provide most of the help that we need. I just don't think they're getting to the people. So please be on the lookout for that. You know, when we go into these communities, you know, we got to have numbers, you know, because they're not going to know our intentions. So we got to have numbers. So please, we're going to put some information out about that. We're going to close in on a date. So please, once the date comes out, try to clear your calendar so you can walk through the communities and let the people and let the kids know we love them. They are not in this alone, and we are here to help. All right? So, hey, this Big Ant, Voices in the Struggle.
Oh, this Brother Reggie. I'm finna open my Chinese restaurant still. Y'all come holler at your wife.
Brother Reggie, go over to the Chinese restaurant.
I'm on the corner in the hood. Yeah.
Bro, don't have no cats and dogs hanging around in the
no
back,
cats
man.
and dogs. Might be some turtles up in there.
So
Some gator tail. Y'all eat that.
South Florida stuff.
he said gator tail. You gotta have some conch. You gotta have some conch in there.
Some conch in there. Or we're gonna be a Chinese restaurant.
You know what I mean?
You know the brothers love the Chinese restaurant.
They love the Chinese restaurant.
Hey, some old duck
I go
sauce.
get me a damn styrofoam full of fried rice for $5,
Yeah,
baby.
see, hey.
My heart about to explode.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey.
Miriam Munn, we need a list of black organizations too. That's a good point. That's a good point.
See what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm all about pooling resources.
Yeah, see what they're gonna do. It's enough of them.
Yeah. So listen, man, we're having a good show. We could be here all night, but we got to get prepared for our next show. So hey, thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We're gonna see y'all next week right here, Voices in the Struggle. We're gonna have a female co-host guest on, and we're gonna talk about some relationship topics. So please stay tuned for that. This Voices in the Struggle. I'm your main man, Big Ed, and we out. Peace.
Oh, let me cut this thing off.
There you go. It comes out.
Don't say nothing.